Hi guys, I'm going to do a little project here, indirectly suggested by a comment from First Pal. He was talking about wire controlled cars, the sort that you used to be able to buy before we had radio control all the time, where you had a little controller that you held in your hand and there was a wire that went down to the car to drive it. So what I'm going to do is take this radio controlled car, which had a faulty receiver in it. I actually swapped the receiver for one that worked a while ago, but now I'm going to take that receiver back off it, put some wire directly onto it. This has got 6 wires on it, so that's handy. And I'm going to use this bit of circuit board from a DVD player, because it's got 4 push switches there that happen to be arranged in the right order, so I can have forwards, backwards, right and left. I'll cut the rest of it off and I'll use that to control the car. Right, that's the bit of circuit board with the 4 push buttons on it, and at the moment a lot of them are common together and I actually want all the contacts to be separate. So I shall cut through them with a knife and just cut the tracking out the way, and then I'll solder directly onto the buttons. Right, I've scratched out the tracking so there's no contacts between any of them. Truth is, I probably could have made use of some of the tracking, but I thought it was easier to start from scratch. Okay guys, made a very basic mistake here. I made an assumption. I thought those momentary switches were double pole, but they're not, they're only single pole. So instead of being able to use them to switch 2 wires at the same time, they'll only switch 1 wire. So I'm going to have to approach this a slightly different way. Rather than use the batteries that are on board, I'm going to have to use some handheld batteries so that I can actually change the polarity by swapping batteries. Okay guys, all up together. Made it unnecessarily complicated by the fact that these are only single pole switches instead of double pole. I should have checked, I just made an assumption, always a bad move. So that now means that I'm using one set of batteries attached to the controller and the other set of batteries are in the car. When we go forwards we're using these batteries, when we go backwards we're using the batteries on the car, when we go right we're using these batteries, and when we go left we're using the batteries on the car. So if we just go forwards, should have given it a bit more line. So forwards, right, backwards, left, forwards, left, backwards, so I think apart from the fact I need to learn how to control it, it works. Obviously it's not a very good idea to run over the wire. But that looks like success to me. So that's a bit of old circuit board off a DVD player, the push buttons. An old radio controlled car, which I've taken the receiver out of and diverted all the wires up this bit of 6 wire up to here. So success. Something you can do with your radio controlled car if the receiver is no good. Just in case you're wondering, this radio controlled car came from the charity shop and as usual didn't have a transmitter with it, and I couldn't get the receiver to work with any of my transmitters that I'd already got, so ideal subject for cannibalising and using the bits.